All right, gorgeous. Here is what we're working with. This is the attendance intervention tracker. There's 3 tabs here. You'll be spending most of your time on one of them. It's not the one you see here. This is just where I'm going to paste the report on a weekly basis. So you can pretty much ignore this tab. Because of that, I'm going to hide it. On this tab, there's a part that you can ignore. That's what you see over here. So if you ever see that, you can just ignore it by clicking that little minus sign. It'll get rid of it. All you really need is this little section right here. This indicates students who are not listed for whatever reason on the intervention tracker. That probably means that they're new students. I put some in here just so you can see how it works. This intervention tracker is what you'll be spending most of your time on. So you'll see that there are a couple of different color schemes going on. What actually jumps out at me are the ones that are really hard to read. That's by design. If a student has a hard to read name, like most of them here, and you look in column H, what tier are they in? They're not in one. They only have 1 or 0 or 2 unexcused absences. So you can kind of ignore them. Purple corresponds to students who are in tier 1. So that's 3 or 4 unexcused absences. 3, but not up to 5. And gold are the students who are in tier 2. Tier 2 is students who have 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 unexcused absences, and they will turn gold. Currently, we don't have any students in the red, which will be tier 3. So even if you scroll through this, you won't see any students in the red. In a couple of weeks, you will probably. So what is this tool for? It's to track interventions. So if you want to track interventions for a tier 1 student, you know that it's purple. You follow this purple column up to this plus sign, and it'll expand the tier 1 section. At that time, you can click the interventions that you've completed. You can even leave notes if you want to. Every time you complete an intervention, it'll turn green. And when you complete all the interventions for a tier, that whole tier will turn green for that student. So that's relatively straightforward. It works well for the gold and for the red as well. But I am going to show you what I think I would do because looking at all of these students at once is difficult. So I'm thinking about just tier 1. I filter for just tier 1. Oh my gosh. Filtering is just clicking the triangle here and selecting down here which tier you want to look at. So here we're looking at all of the tier 2 students. Here we're looking at all of the tier 1 students. And then we can sort of use this tool by expanding the relevant section. Again, this was already in here, but check what you've done. And when the whole tier is complete for a certain student, then it turns a darker green. The trickiest thing is when there is a new student or a student who is not on this list for whatever reason. So I told you about that before. You click on the New Students tab. If there are any students listed here, then you copy all of them, right-click, copy, go back to the intervention tracker, go all the way down to the bottom. Blue just means blank. And then instead of pasting regular, you actually paste special, values only. All of these color coding is considered formatting. So you don't want to paste any formatting from the previous tab. You only want to paste the values, the student information. And when you click that, you'll see that Cornelia and Dream are perfect. They're exactly how they're supposed to look. Now 7, Wiggins, has turned blue. And you'll see up here that there's another 7 Wiggins, which means that for some reason, there's a duplicate. And if there's ever a duplicate, then you want to make sure that you look across every tier and see if there are any check marks for the duplicate students. There's not in tier 1 or tier 2, and looks like there's not in tier 3 either. So if there's nothing that's going to be lost, then you can delete the whole row. The way you do that is by going over to the row number, right-clicking, delete row. Then 7 is the right color again, and you can, all of these students will disappear when it happens in real life. That will disappear. If there is ever a student who unenrolls, they will turn blue as well, a different color blue actually. And you can do the same thing, delete the row, or you can just leave them there. That's up to you. Quick and dirty reference. I'll sit with you and we can go over all the things that probably don't work about this. But for now, this is a good draft. So try it out. Let me know how it works for you.